morning. This is Bobby with Renaissance Game Supply. So this morning we got to I think 373,000 yesterday before Black Friday. So I missed my goal of 400,000. And good morning, Wes. So I did miss the goal, but I'm gonna continue uploading cards in the meantime. And this morning got a 7,500 cards that's all Innistrad, and some of it's foil, so I'm really curious if any of this is worth anything. Innistrad happens to be one of my favorite sets. Good morning, Wes, how are you? So at this moment, it's a little quicker for me to just grab a box like this that's mostly organized with one set, and it's easier for me to just grab it and organize it myself. So that's what I do. That's what I did all day yesterday. I think I got 11,000 cards up yesterday just by doing this. I just find all the same card art, create the pile. And I do it based on the color. The foreign language I don't really keep. And once I get all this sorted, then I add it, and then I move on to the next color. It's about the fastest way I've found to sort this if you're doing it by hand. And I've got the sorters in the background. They're doing a couple other sets. I think Amonkhet and Ravnica Allegiance. So realistically, I'm doing 3 sets at the same time. Happy Black Friday, Wes. How you doing on sales? I haven't even logged in to look yet. So you're only an hour ahead of me, Wes. Yeah, the sales will pick up here and later this morning. I know I've got a few from yesterday I didn't process. Let's log in and find out. I'm curious myself. I know one came in just as I was getting ready to go to bed last night because I was playing on the tablet and it popped up on the screen. It's thinking. Here we go. So we got 6 sales. So yeah, 3 this morning, 3 yesterday so far, and I'm sure that's gonna pick up. We're at 372,554. So I was at 361 something yesterday after having a couple orders hit around 400, 485 cards each. It kind of took me down a little bit, which is what it's supposed to do. But yeah, 6 sales. That's good already. So this morning, once my wife gets up, she'll start packing those orders, and I will just keep doing what I'm doing, just keep uploading. I'm still waiting for my 800 count boxes to get here. I've got 2 different orders via Amazon, and for some reason they're taking their sweet time getting here today. Well, getting here, period. I think one of them, they've lost the package or something. That keeps saying it's in Farmington or it's in Denver, and I'm like, I just got tired of tracking it because it's just bad news. I'm sure they've lost it, so I'll have to be ordering it again. And all of this, of course, is holding me up from being able to get these cards into their proper storage in the office in there, so I can finish getting that done. But it is what it is. It's the nature of business. You don't always get what you want when you need it. That's awesome, Wes. Yeah, I mean, even 1,000 a day is still 365,000 a year. So that's, you'd be right where I'm at if you did 1,000 a day. And that's a push to do 1,000 a day. It really is. Especially if you don't have a sorter and you're gonna do everything manually. It, I did it for, well, this is my 10th year selling cards online. So, and I've finally hit 372 for the first time ever. So it's gonna take you a while to kind of get built up, but once you get the hang of it and use some of these techniques and whatnot that I've learned the hard way, that it should help you. And as soon as you can get yourself a sorter, whatever sorter you choose to get, I mean, that's gonna help you a lot too. That's gonna put you light years ahead of where I was at. That's the whole point. I want people to learn from my mistakes, learn from my experiences, and get out further, and then share their experiences. So for the most part, these cards are pretty well put together. As you can see, they're all the same art here, which is really, really nice. And that's why I love buying these collections from sellers who are already organized. It makes it so easy for me to upload. That's why I can do 11,000, 20,000 in a day or a weekend. Fiend Hunter. I remember when that card was worth quite a few bucks. Hello, Ashley. Yeah, that's all you can do, Wes, is a box at a time, and then once you get it all organized by set, what I did is I went out and bought 900 count, 600 count, 800 count boxes and just organized by set. And then once I had it all organized by set, then I could organize it all like I'm doing now. Let me back up the tripod here. I want to show you. And then once you organize it by set, you can break it out like this. And then this is where it's easy to upload. That's the hardest part, is getting to this step right here. But lucky for me, the store owner already paid their employees to do this for me, so I don't have to do that so much anymore. But yeah, I remember every 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 card collection helps. You're gonna find out that you're gonna be selling through them sometimes faster than you can pick them up. And it's very hard to get out ahead of that sometimes, especially when there's nothing available on your marketplaces and stuff, which is part of the reason why I decided to just jump off the marketplaces and just go straight for Facebook groups and just look for very specific people who sell shit. So I don't even mess with the marketplaces anymore. People want, $1,000 for 800 cards, and it's not even worth that. I'd rather just dabble in this. I've always liked these cards. Ghostly Possession, the art of it is just really cool. Again, this is one of my favorite sets of all time. Added Mirrodin, Fifth Dawn. Card sets like that were pretty amazing too. Kitty, hey, get off my chair, buddy. There you go. All right, I'll catch you later, Wes. Thanks for watching. So yeah, this morning is just more organizing, getting cards ready for upload, and then going to organize this into the inventory that's in the office. So every day when I have an hour, 2 hours, or any spare time whatsoever, I'm always uploading stuff and getting it up on the store. It's just a constant drive. I've still got probably 900,000 cards in the garage to go through. I've uploaded almost 100,000 in the last 5 weeks. I'm sitting at 372,554 this morning. And when I'm done with this, right behind the camera here, I have a 5,000 count box full of cards. I only have one row out of it, which is what I'm organizing right now, is all the white cards. And this is from Innistrad. So when I'm done organizing all of the colors that's left in that box over there, I should be sitting at 380,000 by the end of tonight, if not more. And tomorrow I've got to go to Albuquerque for a few hours and back, and then after that I should be able to hit 390,000 by the end of tomorrow night. But by Sunday night I'm really pushing to try to hit 400,000 cards uploaded. Now that's a little difficult to do 10,000 cards in a day unless you have it all organized for you ahead of time. So luckily with me, this is my last box that's organized ahead of time. I have a few card sets out there that the sorters have been sorting for me, and as I clean out the card sorting trays and I organize them, the card stacks are kind of building up, but it's not 7,500, it's not 10,000 cards, it's maybe like 2,000 or 3,000. So that takes 3 times as much process to kind of upload 10,000 cards. So I think once I hit 400,000 cards, I'm gonna hit the brakes or pump the brakes for a while on uploads, and I'm gonna focus on organizing into sets, much like what we have right here in front of us. And I think once we get another 100, 200,000 cards organized ahead, then I can work on organizing. And what I'm hoping for, and I'm still trying to do all this before January 1st, the new year, is still trying to get to 500,000 cards online. So right now I'm 127,500 cards off. That's a big push. It's a lot of work to try to get that done, but I think I can do it. I have time. We get the holidays coming up, so that helps a lot. And typically with the holidays, I can get a lot of cards up online because I just cook meals in Crock-Pot, and that'll last 2-3 days. No big deal. Right now I'm just trying to get everything organized. As you can see, it's all the same card art. Just double checking, making sure that it is. Here's some more. Just getting it organized ahead of time. And this is the part where you can really scan some cards quickly, is if you get to where everything is organized into the same part. We got 1 stack left, plus this little handful here. Fiend Hunter, I remember that card was like fairly sought after back in the day. I don't know so much about it anymore. I don't play as much as I used to. As you can see, this is pretty cool to see when it's mostly organized already, and all you gotta do is just kind of finish just getting it organized just a little bit more. This makes it very efficient for uploads, very efficient for organizing, and organizing for inventory, that is. Oh, there's a foil. I always stick my foils on the top so I remember as I'm adding them in the quick list. I know that, you know, I'm adding 110 of this plus 1 foil, or 2 or 3 foils. And sometimes these foils, they're worth a little bit. You'd be surprised, you know, you got an 8-cent, 10-cent card, and next thing you know, you got a $5 foil. So just pay attention to those older sets, those older foils. There's some hidden value in those. And the other thing too is to keep an eye on, if it's not worth something today, and it's something that you like, and it's an older set that you like, because it's your inventory, keep the foils separated. Put them in a different folder somewhere, or you can put them in like a Dragon Shield or a deck box or electronic deck box organizer or something, so you know what you have. And keep checking MTG stocks. I check it every day, especially the market foil. Sorry, or the foils. Because sometimes these commons will go, or even uncommons will go from like 50 cents to $1 to like $10 overnight, and then finally end up settling around $5 or $7. Every week, every day, something new goes up through the roof. So if that's something that you like to keep track of, then I mean, by all means, it's your inventory, go ahead and do it. I don't necessarily worry about it anymore. There's a few cards I'll keep. Anything from like older sets, I'll always keep all those foils. I actually personally collect those. But the more modern stuff, not so much, because stuff gets reprinted so much, I don't really care anymore. But that older shit, that's a different story. So I'm just about done here. And see, I get a lot of foreign language stuff. I can't move it, so I don't really sell it. I just chuck it. I know I shouldn't, but it pains me to throw it away, but it's not even worth my time to even get it listed. Not to mention it's hard to keep track of what letter group it's in if I do sell it, and it's, I don't know, it's just a mess. So that's why I don't even have anything to do with it anymore. So we are getting close to the end here. See, some of these stacks I gotta move because this is where I put my cards after I've scanned them. So I'll move a few of these. The other thing I do too is if they're all the same letter, I just stack them. That way I can just grab them, throw them in a box really quick like. And then when I'm done scanning all my cards for inventory, I'll usually just put them all in alphabetical order, so that when I carry the box to the office, I take them all out, they're all in alphabetical order, and I don't have to sit there and try and decipher what went where. Just makes storing the cards a lot easier too. And as you can see, this is still, there's another foil. And see, notice that it's a low mana cost, one white, one colorless. It's instant speed. And this is destroy target spirit or enchantment. So this is kind of particular about what it can destroy. If that had been like an artifact or an enchantment, it's probably worth a little bit of money. But because it says spirit or enchantment, it's kind of particular. It's probably worth less than $1. I think it would have been worth a lot more if they had been artifact or enchantment. So I always read the wording on these cards, because sometimes stuff is a little overpowered, and then you get stuff like that where it's instant speed, low mana cost, casting, and yeah, for some reason over the years these cards just start gaining value. Even if they haven't spiked, they just gain consistently, and before you know it, you got something that's worth a little bit of money. That card in particular, probably not. And I think it's because it's the destroy target spirit. If that hadn't been on there, it probably would have been worth a little bit more. But you never know. I mean, you gotta look them all up. I always put my foils on the tops, if there are any. And it's just a quick way for me to keep track of if I had a foil in that stack of cards or not. Alright, we are just about done. So, I thought I had a stack for Chapelgeist. That's the other thing too, is, yep, there it is. Normally I will organize in alphabetical order and scan in alphabetical order. I don't know, it's easier for me to keep track of where I'm at. But for this morning, This is just for display purposes and a little bit of training. I'm sure some of you out there already know how to do this very, very well. But for those of you that don't, this is how I do it. This is how I get really fast. Like yesterday, I uploaded 11,000 cards. Let's see here. Right now, we're all set up. I set quick list to the set, so it's Innistrad. I always knock them down a grade so they're moderately played instead of lightly played, even though they're pretty good looking cards. They're older cards. They've been played with before. I don't think they're really lightly played. I would much rather sell them at moderately played. So here we go. Again, this is what makes me quick. This part right here. We're gonna adjust the focus. For some reason, it always loses its focus. So Silver Chase Fox, 3 cents a piece. Then just count them. That's it. Count them, move on to the next card, and before you know it, you're at 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 cards. So we got 59 Silver Chase Fox. And I just open this up. So that little stack was worth $1.77 if somebody was to buy that all out. Now, the one card I wanted to check on was this Urgent Exorcism. That's that foil I was just talking about. I'm gonna see if it's worth something. And that's another reason why I like to leave the foil on the top. So 62 here, including one foil. So I leave my foils in this because it's very easy to process them. And I just enter one as a foil. There you go, 19 cents. So again, I think the target spirit wording is what killed the value of that card. If you'd been able to target something else other than a specific creature, I think it would have been worth a little bit more in the long run. Still a cool card though. So I got 29 of these Paracelines. These are worth 11 cents a piece. And we're already at 150 cards in just 3 scans. The other cool thing is I love cards like this, like Fiend Hunter. Not only is it a fairly well used card, but it's worth 20 cents. We got 26 of those. And this is how I grade too. This is the point that I grade. So I already said that I mostly knock these down a level anyway to moderately played. But then when I'm scanning through and you start seeing some white edging and chipping and shit like that, what I do is I'll separate those. So there's 2, there's 3, there's 5 with some edge wear, some chipping, and I don't even care about looking at the back because at that point I'm already gonna mark these as damaged. So we got 5. So I just find any 5, 3, 4, 5. I highlight them, mark them as damaged, boom, done. They're still worth like 11 cents. It's just such a well played card. That's cool. These are 9 cents a piece. So as you can see, I mean, you want your cards to be valued somewhere around about 8 to 20, 25 cents, because that's a lot of value. I mean, when you're talking thousands and hundreds of thousands of cards, I mean, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars worth of value collectively once you spend the time and get them uploaded. There's 56 of them there. Again, it's about $5. We'll take it. If every little short stack like that was worth $5, man, we'd be pretty well built up in no time at all. Doomed Traveler. I see these move quite often. I probably got almost 50 there. We got 49 Doomed Travelers. We got 56 Feeling Dread. And the number that you can't see over here is we're already at 337 cards for upload, and it hasn't taken that long. I mean, realistically, if you were to scan like new boxes and new sets and stuff, if you didn't organize by alphabetical order and then by the card art, it could literally take you all day to scan 1,000 cards, and I just did it in a few minutes and I'm already at 337. I always take the thicker stacks to get the numbers up there. Like this here is going to probably be 1,200 cards before it's said and done. So there's 67 of the Avacyn Priests, and we're already at almost $25 in market value for these commons and uncommons. You might think, wow, that's not really worth a lot. But what this does is it contributes to future sales, and you want to list all of your cards. You want to list as many of them as you can, because sometimes store owners, Amazon departments, people, drop shippers and stuff, they will purchase literally hundreds of copies of cards from you, and if you don't have them listed, they're just going to move on to the next bigger store that has everything. So there's 31 of these Slayer of the Wickeds, and one is damaged. And I do sell damaged stuff too, because there are people out there who actually collect that and will play with it, so I make it available to them. So we got 23 Spectral Riders. Then we got Smite the Monstrous. I think that card's around 10 cents if I remember right. Oh, wrong, 4 cents. That's the monitor they played, that's why. I think the foil of these, if you can find these, it's got a little bit of value. Let's go ahead and find out. I can just change this to foil real quick. Nope, it's only 16 cents. I must be thinking of another card. So we got 40 Smite the Monstrous. So 59 Rebuke. I did see that there's a new little product out there. I guess it's been out for a little while, but there's like a newer version of it. It's a card counter, and I think it's like around 250 bucks, 300 bucks, something like that. And when you have a stack like this and you don't want to sit here and count cards, and you know it's all the same, you just put it in the card counter and it counts it for you. It's pretty sweet. I've been thinking about maybe picking one up or reaching out to the manufacturer and see if there's any like deals and whatnot. I might actually look today since it's Black Friday. But I think it would help me out if I had 2 or 3 of those, because what I could do is slap them in there, 3 different card names, let those count at the same time, and then all I do is grab them, scan once, I already know what the counts are, set them to the side. I think that was another way to increase the efficiency of this, though I just don't know if it's worth 900 bucks to buy 3 of them, just to be a little quicker, you know. Who knows? I mean, I still have 900,000 cards out in that garage, so $900, I could make that in 2 days, just scanning cards. So it's not like I couldn't afford it. It's just, I don't know. I think it's worth trying with at least one and kind of seeing where I'm going with it. Because if it scans cards like that and counts them like that quick, and it's faster than me, and it makes me faster at this, and I can upload more in a day, it might be worth the money. So we're gonna find out. I'm gonna do a little research on that today. Cause that was 60, and I don't know how long that took me, maybe a minute. So if that is counting cards so that I don't have to, and all I'm doing is scanning cards quicker, it might be worth it. And for those of you out there who've kind of been following me, my whole plan and my whole business idea and sense here is to build yourself a stay-at-home income, an online store. And eventually you can, you know, if you own a brick and mortar, that's great. This will help you with that as well, because it kind of sets a nice solid foundation underneath your feet. The other thing is, if you choose not to have employees, these little machines that count your cards and these robot sorters that sort the stuff in the background as your card sorting mill, so that you can focus on your customers and your sales and your accounting and your bookkeeping and all that kind of sort of stuff. It buys back a lot of valuable time. And that's kind of what I'm showing you here a little bit, is that you can do all this by yourself without any employees. But if you do have employees, you can use their resources far more effectively than card sorting. It's the most mundane, just, I think, waste of your money, waste of their time, sort of part of the whole process. So that's what I'm trying to steer people away from, is spending the time having your employees do all this, because you can single-handedly do this stuff yourself in your own spare time and probably upload more. Originally, when I started this with the idea that I would maybe eventually open a brick and mortar store, but I think with everything I've got going on right now and some of the processes I've have in my head that I've been kind of implementing out in the garage and in the other office here, I think I'm at the point that in the next couple of years, if I continue to grow like I did this year, I think I'll be bigger than the idea of a brick and mortar store. There would be no point in opening one, because that would chain me down to something that I can't step away from. So, and my goal is eventually to get to 25 million cards, and by this time next year I should have 2.5 million. I have another 1 million card purchase in the pipeline here. I'm gonna be picking up in the next few months. '63 Voiceless Spirits. So these Village Bell ringers, these are 16 cents a piece. I probably have close to 60 here. These actually sell. Part of the reason why I chose Innistrad this morning was the box was like 7,500 cards, mostly ready to upload and whatnot, very easy to get into the store. But secondly, the set does very well. So that's typically why I like to list the boxes and sets as I go, because I look at it based off historical data, meaning I go back and I look at some of the cards it's been selling, and I look at the sets, and if it's heavy in one set or 2 or 3 sets or even 5 sets, those are the sets that I go to the garage and I grab. Those are the ones I want to continue feeding. And the other thing I want to do too is I want to feed older sets and newer sets, older sets and newer sets, and just kind of work my way to where it's in the middle, to where it's kind of like mid-era type stuff. I'm only one person that can only upload so much. I wish I had it all uploaded right now. I would be able to show you so much more data, but I can't. So I gotta show you how to get to there. We have 55 Village Bell ringers. I saw one corner was bent, so we're gonna go ahead and mark that as damaged. And even if damaged, it's still worth 9 cents. So it doesn't lose a lot of value. Calder Qatar. Oops. Intangible Virtue is yet another one of the cards that does pretty well. For those of you that don't know, it's 1 white, 1 colorless enchantment. Creature tokens you control get +1/+1 in vigilance. So that's a reason why I want to get these uploaded this morning. These do pretty well in a lot of your commander white decks. They're only 7 cents a piece, but they still sell. We got 19 of them. And chances are, unless somebody's just out to pick a few parts and pieces for decks that they need, some store owner that shops us quite a bit, they'll probably just pick up all copies of those. So we got 38 Cloistered Youth and 1 foil. And the foil alone is 20 cents versus 1 cent, so it's pretty good. I like these older set foils, they're hard to find sometimes. We got 62 Abbey Griffins. That's a high mana cost for that Griffin, but normally Griffins do pretty well too. Midnight Haunting. Damaged. So we got 8. We got 30 with 2 damaged. That's pretty easy to enter. I just pick any 2, highlight them. Mark them as damaged, boom, done. Unruly Mob. That's another card that out of this set sells not on a regular basis, but it's sold enough that it gets my attention when I see it when I'm organizing out there in the garage. Its value, non-existent. It's a 1 cent card, but it still moves. And that's what you want. You want cards that move. Because cards that move, cards that are pieces of decks and parts of decks, and that you can build things around, is going to help your sales. I mean, it just helps stitch your sales together, whether they're buying for Commander, Pauper, Modern, it doesn't matter. So that's why I tried to make a point to list everything you get. Lands, tokens, checklist cards, doesn't matter. The uncommon planeswalkers, just the super cheapest stuff, it still moves. I mean, it moves by the hundreds sometimes. What I might do is do like a live on some of the orders I get sometimes. I want to show you, especially the one I just got the other day. It was 485 cards, and I had people buying up, I think it was 122 copies of Savannah Lions from Modern Horizons 2. Almost bought me completely out. So I don't even think it was a 1 or a 2 cent card. Doesn't matter. It's just the fact that you get bought out on stuff. Maybe their player base up there uses that card a lot. I don't know. I can't justify why I would need 122 copies of Savannah Lions and the retro borders of it. So anyway. we had 64 Unruly Mob, and I had 0 copies of Moderately Played in stock. That's the other thing I like about Quick List is that it shows you what you have in stock. So that's a new product for me, and I like new products. Chapelgeist, I have no Moderately Played Chapelgeist. That's a new product. Got 61 of those. And so when it comes to inventory, there's a couple things I don't know if you're familiar with or not. So you have what's called products. That's a unique item. And then you have inventory, which is like the combination of all of your products and all of your quantities. So let's say, for example, this Bonds of Faith. Let's say that this one was near mint, lightly played, moderately played, heavily played, damaged, foil. So yeah, you have an inventory of 6, right? But what you really have is 6 products. And sometimes the different products you have is just as valuable as the inventory, the accumulated inventory. What it means by having the different products is now you have 6 potential lures, so to speak, to attract a buyer. Let's say a buyer doesn't like near mint. The buyer's like, I don't really care for heavily played. I don't mind playing with damaged. I don't mind playing with moderately played or lightly played. So those are the 3 conditions you're going to go after. But then you get your players out there and your collectors who only want near mint. So that's the product they're after. And that's why it's important to kind of grade and list your stuff. You want to get your products up, not just your inventory. I think I'm at 35,000 unique products at the moment. So with a total inventory of about 372,000 cards. So yeah, I have a very duplicated, which is good. You want that. I know there's a lot of sellers out there who tell you that, what's the point of having 100 copies of something? Well, the point is if retailers are shopping your stuff, they're more likely going to buy the 100 copies off you versus 20 copies off this person, 10 copies off this, and 50 copies off this person to get to the 100 that they need. And now they gotta pay 6, 7, 8 different shipping charges to get to that 100. They're gonna come to somebody like me and they're gonna buy all 100 in one shot and pay one shipping price. And chances are, because they landed on my page and they saw the mass inventory that I have, they're gonna stay there a while, they're gonna buy more stuff, and they're gonna keep coming back repeatedly. When I say repeatedly, sometimes they order 3 and 4 orders in the same day. The same day. So what I do is I will sometimes combine shipping for them, if I can, and get that out the door. And sometimes I have people who buy from me for several different stores that they own. So let's say they have a chain, but they want it shipped to this location, not this location. So I always have to pay attention to the order. And these buyers are very polite, and they will tell me, hey, don't combine my shipping, please. And these are going to 2 different locations, and I'll usually pay attention to the shipping label itself, as well as the message when they buy me something or buy something from me. So that's the one thing you kind of want to be careful of too, is just always be alert as to what's going on. It might be like, man, this is kind of weird. They're buying 2 and 3 orders in the same day. Well, just look that they're probably buying for numerous locations. There's several store owners out there who have multiple locations. So I'm gonna hurry through the next few scans here. And the idea is I wanna get these up. I wanna get the number total for you and show you how many we uploaded this morning. We're at 1,194 already. And we're still not done, as you can see. Okay, we are done. So one row out of the 5,000 count box actually yield, well, it's one row and then maybe like 30, 50 cards out of the next row, all the white. So 1,480 cards. That's what we have right now. Let's get ready to upload. $67.16 in market value for that 1,400. So we're gonna add it. I also remove it from the buy list just to make sure I didn't have any on there for some reason. I always do the advanced filters twice. Look for any errors here, like this is a moderately played foil. I just listed it as 25 cents because it's older, it's harder to get. It's probably something I'll never run across again. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and move everything to live, my search results. Boom, there you go. And I don't think it'll update the inventory immediately anymore. Yeah, so 372, so I should be at almost 374 now. So Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. My goal today is to hit 380,000. I'm gonna jump off live here in a little bit, just so I can focus on getting some stuff done. But yeah, we're at 374,000, trying to get to 380,000 cards today, and I probably can do that because I have the one box right there behind us. Should be pretty easy to upload. It's just time consuming. I'm thinking probably by 6:15 a.m. So probably by 9 a.m. I should have all that, and then I'll probably call it done for the day, unless I get bored. I got a little bit of shopping to go do, and some gotta go get ink and packing tape and shit, and then get back here and start packing orders. I think we got 6 orders already to get out the door this morning. So that's probably it for the live. Well, thanks for everybody for joining, and hopefully you all learned a little bit more about how I organize my cards and just make it very effective, very efficient to upload. And just because somebody else organized it for me doesn't mean it's still not my policy or my practice. I still do all this on the back end, even if it was an absolutely disorganized box. But luckily for me, I got my sorters in the background now that do it for me, and then all I do is just grab the stacks and upload. Hopefully that shows you how quick you can use QuickList to get things uploaded, and it is absolutely the fastest tool to get cards up online if you use it right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day, and happy Black Friday, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all have a great weekend.